There's something quietly powerful about seeing a woman over 50, wearing her hair like she truly owns the room. Not like she's chasing youth, but like she's choosing herself. And that's why celebrity hair inspiration can be so helpful, because it gives us real-life references for what elegance, confidence, and freshness can look like at this stage of life. Today on Timeless Wisdom Path, we're doing something extra fun. We'll look at iconic hairstyles from women over 50, Helen Mirren, Jane Fonda, Viola Davis, and a few more. And then I'll walk you through how to recreate those looks at home in a realistic way. Not a perfect salon blowout, only fantasy, but the kind of styling you can actually repeat on a normal morning. And I'll also show you exactly how to describe each look to a stylist, what to ask for in the cut and color, plus the products and techniques that make these styles last. The Helen Mirren look. Soft silver bob with lift. Helen Mirren's hair is a masterclass in one thing many of us want but rarely get explained properly: softness with structure. Her look often sits right around the jawline or slightly below it. And the magic is in the way it moves. It's not stiff, it's not overly layered into thin ends, and it doesn't cling to the head. It has gentle lift at the root, smoothness through the mid-lengths, and a soft sweep around the face that makes the whole look feel polished without trying too hard. If you're trying to recreate this at home, start by understanding the cut itself. This style usually works best as a bob or long bob with light layering, nothing extreme. The ends are kept slightly blunt, so the hair looks fuller. If you have fine or thinning hair, this shape can be especially flattering because bluntish ends create the illusion of density. If your hair is thick, you can still do it, but you'll want internal debulking rather than choppy layers, so it doesn't puff outward. Here's exactly what to say to your stylist. Tell them you want a jaw to collarbone length bob with a soft perimeter, minimal layers, and light face framing. Ask for subtle graduation at the nape if you want it to sit neatly, and request movement without thinning the ends. For the color, Mirren's silver is never flat gray. It's bright, dimensional, and clean. Ask your colorist for a soft silver blend, or pearl gray toner. And if you're transitioning from darker dye, ask about a gradual plan using highlights and lowlights so the grow-out looks intentional instead of harsh. Now let's style it at home in a way that looks modern. The first step is lift. You'll want a volumizing mousse or root spray on damp hair. A reliable approach is applying a lightweight mousse through the roots and crown, then blow-drying with a round brush, rolling the brush upward at the root before gliding it through the hair. The secret is not the curl, it's the root direction. Blow the hair up and back from the face at the front. That alone instantly gives that celebrity finish. If you don't love round brushing, you can do the same thing with a blow-dry brush tool, focusing only on the top and front sections. After drying, use a medium barrel curling iron or a flat iron just to bend the ends slightly inward or outward, alternating directions subtly so it doesn't look too perfect. Then finish with a flexible hold hairspray, not a stiff one, because Mirren's hair always moves. Product-wise, a purple shampoo once a week helps maintain brightness, but don't overdo it or your hair can look dull or slightly lavender. A toning gloss or salon toner every few weeks keeps that clean silver glow. For shine, use a tiny drop of lightweight hair oil, warmed in your palms and pressed over the surface, not raked through aggressively. Maintenance matters with this look. Plan trims every 6 to 8 weeks to keep the perimeter crisp. And if your hair tends to go flat by midday, keep a travel dry shampoo and a small comb. A quick lift at the crown can bring the whole style back to life in less than a minute. The Jane Fonda look. Youthful layered shag with body. Jane Fonda's hair proves something important. Layers can look youthful without looking messy. Her signature style often sits around the shoulders or slightly above, with airy layers that create movement and lift. The reason it works so well for women over 50 is that it brings attention upward, toward the cheekbones and eyes, while keeping the overall look relaxed and alive. To recreate this, we have to get the cut right, because this style depends on shape. Jane's look is basically a modern shag, soft layers, face framing, and volume that looks effortless. It's not the razor-thin shag of the past, and it's not the overly feathered helmet hair either. It's that perfect middle ground that gives hair personality. When you talk to your stylist, you want to sound specific but not complicated. Say, I want a shoulder-length layered shag with soft face framing starting around the cheekbones, and I want the crown to have lift. Ask for texturized layers rather than heavy step layers, and make it clear you do not want the ends overly thinned, especially if your hair is fine. If you wear bangs, you can ask for curtain bangs, or a long side-swept fringe that blends into the layers. Color is a big part of the Jane Fonda effect. She often has warm blonde tones that make her skin look brighter. If you're going blonde, ask for a warm honey blonde or beige gold blonde, and request dimension, meaning a mix of tones, not one flat color. If you don't want to go fully blonde, you can still borrow the idea by adding soft highlights around the face, sometimes called a money piece, but keep it subtle and blended for an elegant result. Now for styling at home, the biggest goal is body and separation. Start with a volumizing shampoo and conditioner, but avoid heavy masks right before styling days, because they can collapse the volume. On damp hair, apply a heat protectant first, then use a root-lifting spray at the crown and a light mousse through the mid-lengths. If your hair frizzes easily, add a pea-sized smoothing cream only on the ends. Blow-drying is where this look comes to life. Flip your part from side to side while drying to create natural lift. Focus the airflow at the roots first. Then use a round brush or blow-dry brush to shape the layers around the face, brushing them away from the cheeks. If you want extra celebrity volume, set the top front section with a large Velcro roller for 10 minutes while you finish makeup. That tiny trick can completely change the final look. To define the shaggy texture, you don't need heavy wax that turns sticky. Use a lightweight texture spray or a dry texturizing mist. Spray it lightly underneath the layers, then shake the hair gently with your fingertips. For extra polish, take a curling iron and add a few loose bends only in random pieces, especially around the face, then brush through softly with your fingers. To keep the style looking fresh for days, sleep with your hair loosely gathered on top of your head in a soft scrunchie. In the morning, refresh the roots with a little dry shampoo and rebend just the face framing pieces. This style actually looks better on day 2 because the texture settles in and becomes more natural. The Viola Davis look, sleek natural texture with bold confidence. Viola Davis is the definition of powerful beauty, and her hair choices always feel intentional. One of her most iconic looks is sleek, defined natural texture. Whether that's a polished short cut, a sculpted look with a side part, or natural curls that are shaped to frame her face with authority and grace. The reason this can go viral in recreations is simple. The before-to-after transformation is dramatic, and the final look reads as confident and elevated. To recreate this at home, we're focusing on healthy definition and a clean silhouette. The first step is deciding which version you're going for. A sleek pressed look, a defined curl look, or a shaped short style. For many viewers, the most achievable recreation is a defined natural curl set or twist out that looks glossy, controlled, and camera-ready. If you're asking a stylist for a cut inspired by Viola, be clear that you want shape, not just shorter hair. You can say, I want a sculpted cut that hugs the head but leaves enough length on top to define texture. If you're going for a short style, ask for tapered sides and back with length left at the crown. If you want a longer natural style, ask for rounded shaping, so the hair frames the face and doesn't look triangular or heavy at the bottom. And if your goal is sleekness, talk about a professional silk press or a smoothing service. But always ask what your hair can handle safely. For color, Viola often keeps it deep, rich, and glossy, and that's a lesson by itself. Instead of chasing lightness, consider richness. Ask for a soft black or espresso tone with a gloss treatment for shine. If you want dimension, a few subtle highlights in a deep brown can add depth without taking away that sophisticated effect. Now let's get into the at-home recreation, because technique matters more than expensive products here. Start on freshly washed hair. Use a moisturizing shampoo, then a conditioner with slip so you can detangle gently. Apply a leave-in conditioner while the hair is still damp, then layer a curl cream for definition. After that, add a gel with a firm but flexible hold. This combination, leave-in plus cream plus gel, helps curls look defined but not crunchy. To style, work in sections. Use your fingers or a wide tooth comb to smooth product through each section. Then use a twisting motion or a finger coil to encourage curl clumps. If you're doing a twist out, twist medium sections, and let them dry completely before unraveling. If you want a faster method, use a diffuser on low heat and low airflow. The key is patience. If you blast curls with high heat, you get frizz. If you go slow, you get definition and shine. Once dry, separate gently with a little oil on your fingertips. Don't over-separate or you'll lose that polished celebrity structure. Then pick the roots lightly at the crown if you want height, but leave the outer layer smooth. If you're recreating a sleek press look instead, protect your hair first. Use a heat protectant, blow dry thoroughly, and only then use a flat iron at a controlled temperature. 1 or 2 passes per section is enough when the hair is properly dried. Finish with a shine spray or lightweight serum, and wrap the hair at night with a silk scarf to preserve the smoothness. The maintenance routine is what makes this look feel expensive. Refresh curls with a mist of water and a tiny bit of leave-in. Then smooth frizz with a small amount of gel on fingertips. Sleep with a satin bonnet or scarf. And schedule trims regularly so the silhouette stays sharp, because a shaped natural style loses impact when the outline grows out. The Michelle Yeoh look. Chic glossy bob with a tuck behind the ear finish. Michelle Yeoh's hair often carries that quiet luxury feeling. Simple, clean, and so polished it almost looks effortless. One of her most wearable looks is a glossy bob with a smooth finish, usually worn with a side part and that subtle, tucked behind the ear, detail that instantly makes the face look more open and the whole vibe more refined. This style is perfect if you want something that reads elegant on camera and in real life, without needing a huge amount of volume or dramatic layers. It's especially flattering for women over 50 because it can highlight the jawline, lift the look of the cheekbones, and create a neat frame around the face. For the cut, you're aiming for a blunt or softly blunt bob. The ends should look healthy and intentional. Layers, if any, should be minimal, more like hidden movement than visible steps. When you speak to your stylist, say, "I want a chin to collarbone bob that's mostly one length, with subtle internal layering so it lays smooth." If you want it to look especially modern, ask for a slightly longer front, sometimes called a gentle A-line, but keep it subtle so it doesn't feel harsh. Color-wise, Michelle Yeoh often keeps her hair deep and glossy, and that shine is a huge part of the effect. Ask for a gloss treatment even if you aren't changing color. You can say, "I want a clear gloss for shine," or a neutral dark gloss to add richness. If you have grays coming in and you don't want full coverage, ask about blending them softly, so the regrowth line isn't severe. Now the at-home styling. This look is all about smoothness with movement at the ends. Start with a smoothing shampoo and conditioner, then apply a heat protectant that also controls frizz. If your hair gets flat, add a tiny amount of root lift spray at the crown, but not too much because you want sleekness, not big volume. Blow dry in sections using a paddle brush for straightness. Keep the dryer nozzle pointing downward so the cuticle lays flat. When hair is almost dry, switch to a round brush just for the ends, curving them slightly inward. That tiny bend is what takes it from regular straight hair to celebrity bob. If you want the most polished finish, take a flat iron and do a single smooth pass on each section. Then add a slight curve at the bottom. Don't clamp hard. Let the iron glide, almost like you're polishing ribbon. Then apply 1 drop of serum, warmed between palms, and press it over the surface. The trick is using less product than you think you need. Now the signature detail, the tuck. Choose the side you want to tuck behind the ear and lightly spray that side with flexible hold hairspray. Tuck it, then gently pull a few soft pieces near the temple, so it doesn't look severe. If you wear earrings, this is the moment. They become part of the look, and the whole style feels intentional and styled. To maintain this bob, you'll want trims every 6 to 8 weeks to keep the line crisp. At night, if your hair bends easily, wrap it with a silk scarf or sleep on a satin pillowcase. In the morning, a quick pass of a blow dryer at the roots and a touch-up on the ends is often all you need to get back to that clean, glossy finish. The Angela Bassett look. Bouncy blowout with big, healthy movement. Angela Bassett's hair looks like strength and glamour at the same time. One of her most recognizable finishes is the bouncy blowout. Full, healthy, and moving like it has its own personality. What makes her version so wearable is that it's not messy. It's controlled volume, shine, and shape, and it tends to flatter almost every face shape because it lifts everything visually. This recreation is a great choice if you want that special occasion look, but you also want to learn how to do it well enough that you can repeat it for dinners, events, or even days when you simply want to feel like yourself again. To ask your stylist for this, focus on layers and movement. Say, I want long layers that support a blowout and give me bounce, with face framing layers that start around my cheekbones or jaw. If your hair is medium to thick, ask for layers that remove weight but keep the ends full. If your hair is fine, ask for fewer layers so you don't lose density, and consider a slightly shorter overall length to help it lift. Color is optional here, but shine is not. Angela's hair always looks healthy and reflective. Ask your stylist about a gloss, or if you color your hair, ask for a shine-enhancing toner or a clear glaze. If you're embracing gray, you can still get this effect with the right gloss and smoothing routine. Shine reads as youthfulness more than color ever will. Now the at-home technique. Start with clean hair and a lightweight conditioner. Use a microfiber towel or soft t-shirt to blot water. Rough towel drying creates frizz, and frizz kills the blowout look. Apply heat protectant first. Then apply a volumizing mousse through the roots and mid-lengths. If your hair gets frizzy, add a smoothing cream only from mid-length to ends, using a very small amount. Blow dry the roots first and don't skip this step. Lift hair at the roots with your fingers while drying, and aim airflow upward and back. Once roots are mostly dry, move into sections. Use a round brush, and when you pull hair taut, aim the dryer down the hair shaft to smooth it. For bounce, the movement comes from how you set the hair after it's hot. When a section is dry, roll it up on the brush for a few seconds, then release gently. Even better, clip that curl in place or use large Velcro rollers while it cools. Cooling is where the volume locks in. After you remove rollers or clips, brush through gently with a wide brush. Then use a light hair oil mist or shine spray. Avoid heavy oils that separate the hair too much. You want that soft cloud of movement, not stringy shine. If you want the blowout to last, protect it at night. Wrap hair loosely, use a satin scarf, or do a loose top bun with a silk scrunchie. In the morning, refresh with a quick blast of warm air at the roots and a large roller at the front for 5 minutes while you get ready. It sounds small, but it recreates that just left the salon lift. The final detail that makes it look like a true celebrity recreation is the face framing. Take the 2 front pieces and give them an extra round brush flip away from the face, or use a large barrel iron for one soft bend. When those pieces float back and open up the face, the whole style looks intentional and expensive. Final thoughts. Celebrity hair inspiration isn't about copying someone else's life. It's about borrowing a detail, a shape, a shine, a softness that reminds you how good you can feel when you're cared for and put together in a way that matches who you are now. Try one look this week. Take a photo to show your stylist, use the phrases we practiced, and give yourself permission to experiment without pressure. Hair grows, tones can be adjusted, layers can be softened. This is supposed to be fun. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe to Timeless Wisdom Path.